She is a speaker, an educator, a mental health advocate who knows a thing or two about reinvention. After chasing perfect success in her 20s, she hit a breaking point and chose to rebuild her life on her terms. Now in her 30s, she helps others move through burnout to real grounded personal power through her work at Be and Become. She's spoken at major institutions like CAMH, the Women's Healing and Motivational Summit, reminding us that we aren't broken, we are becoming. Please welcome Team 30s.
All right, wow, it's so much better when I'm introduced. You said that way better than I thought. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I'm very, very excited to be here because nothing in my life has ever been linear. And as a mental health coach and now corporate well-being consultant, I do help people and organizations heal from the inside out. I help them build resilience so that they can really ground themselves into a life and an identity that they can truly call their own and take back their power from giving it away to something outside of them. So I'm very honored and privileged to be here to actually have the opportunity to look at my own life. And I realized that in the 35 years that I've been on this planet, I've lived and died many times. I guess what I mean is I've fabricated a life built on soul-filled yeses and hard no's. Some of those no's were made for me. Some of those no's really felt like climbing up a tall, tall tower of careers and relationships, only to realize time and time again that I'm at the wrong window. Mm-hmm. And it is a byproduct of a person who is a big-hearted, bipolar 20-something with high hopes, high dreams, higher manic episodes, interrupted by soul-shattering lows. So I started my 20s with relentless authenticity. I was a pursuer of truth, a protector of justice, and a prolific writer. And so I spent most of my undergraduate years in a pool of lattes, cigarettes, and 4 a.m. conversations unraveling the mysteries and mechanics of capitalism. I thought that my high dreams of journalism were going to change the world. Now, cue the universe. It's 2014, and my pen is mightier than my sword mentality became the sword that slashed most editorial jobs in all of the major printed publications that I dreamed of writing for. And it also slashed my goals of being independent and my escape out of my beautifully boring suburb. I thought that if I just made it as a journalist, I'd be able to honor the stories of the people I would never otherwise get a chance to meet. And of course, the combination of a diet of coffee and cigarettes, the odd pizza slice, and getting high on intellectualism till 5 a.m. for a person like me equals insomnia. And it also followed a very high manic episode, a very low depressive episode, and a hot summer at CAMH Hospital. Plot twist. As I was recovering, and I got the privilege to go outside, I caught wind that a patient's friend was hosting a 10-day interactive festival. And I was thrilled. And I thought, I'm able, I can get off the campus. And so I took it upon myself to get really involved. It was a real soul-filled yes. I love art, I love artists, I love those fantastic, unique people that can just come out in the world and be themselves. And so picture this. I am bouncing back and forth in between therapy classes and all the other CAMH programming. And I'm going straight to a loft on top of an ice factory on Queen Street, managing artists and creating posters, posting them all over the city, and actually putting together a social media campaign on the one shared computer in the hospital. And I realized something huge. Productivity is my new favorite mood stabilizer. It's actually a drug that I preferred way more than the flatness of lithium. And so this actually gave me a lot of intel into the second version of me. I call it the Rebecca 2.0. And it actually gave me a lease on a brand new life. It was actually reinforced by a very good buddy of mine that said, you know, I hear journalists make excellent PR strategists. And I love a good rebrand. So I thought, perfect. I'm gonna get a postgraduate degree in public relations. And so I did. And one degree, one new career path, and a new excuse to study and work way past bedtime. And there I was, graduating again, stepping out into the workforce again. And deep down, I always knew that I was different than my PR classmates because they all went to these wonderful, fancy PR agencies. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to uplift those weird, wonderful people that have a huge idea that they think are going to change the world, and they're willing to dive deep in a line of credit to make it happen. They called us entrepreneurs. I like to call us over-caffeinated visionaries with incredible headshots and nervous systems on fire. My first internship was with a charismatic entrepreneur who had a huge vision to found a women's empowerment network. And so I was just so excited to be as useful as possible. And so I created her brand, her business name, her content, her galas, her launch parties, and it was all very glamorous for the whole 6 months until I heard the words, well, you know, we don't really have a budget to actually hire you. Silver lining, her contacts became my first clients. And I met a new coach. I got a new client. And she was great because with my validation-hungry ego, she called me love exclusively. She said my energy was divine. She said that we were all gonna just get rich and Oprah was going to discover our love your vibe moment. And that will be it for us. We were going to strike it rich and change the world with our love your vibe movement. I'm spending all-nighters building her empire with the promise of maybe potentially actually having this be my final destination, having this be what I need to gain the independence I've always wanted, escape my sleepy town. I realized that the only thing divine was my exhaustion and my loss of self. And I started to get these incessant texts. Rebecca, I'm feeling a change in your energy lately? I feel like you're not committed to the movement anymore. My dear, your energy has changed. I'm on the Viva bus on my way to Sunnybrook Hospital to meet my next psychiatrist. I'm battling panic attacks after getting text after text after text after text. And all I can think of is my vibe right now is trying to thwart off another hospitalized burnout and 6 months in a hospital. That's my vibe right now. So here comes the hard no text. I'm very, very sorry, but I believe it would be best and it'd be in both of our interests for you to find another PR consultant that would be better suited to your needs. She didn't love it, but of course, when we start to reinforce boundaries, they don't. And through that experience, I realized the only vibe I need to love is my own. The only story I need to be writing and rewriting is my own. And in that realization, I started Becca 3.0. Becca 3.0 is a woman who took a chance in the middle of her crippling depression and suicidal ideation and picked up the phone call to a friend of mine that said, "Hey, you know how to write. I gotta teach an English class. Can you supply for me?" I had no teaching experience, and it opened up a life that I actually felt was truly livable, was truly authentic. And now I help young leaders and entrepreneurs rewrite their stories both on paper and in their lives. I have grown roots, and I have helped both businesses and organizations fuel their dreams on more than just good vibes and pretty brands. I help them ground in roots of service, purpose, and authentic alignment so that they can take back their power and truly serve their calling as the people who they are today. I have grown roots in real love, a love that is not preying on a validation-only ego anymore. No more narcissists in my professional and romantic life, please. I have grown roots in real love, a love that has space for both my needs and his. And he's sitting right back there, thankfully. So cheers to you, babe. And I have also grown roots as a person and a woman who rewrites who she is every single day with every single moment, just like the rest of us. And I've realized more and more that throwing away all those PR deals, throwing away the accomplishments, throwing away my attachment to performance made me realize that my life has never been linear. But straight lines don't make good stories. Living, learning, unlearning, being, unbeing, and becoming does.